It's just like with anything. Over time, words and meaning change to the people that is living presently. And usually the change of the word comes from those are in government, or whether there is a case that come to light where people hear the case and they change terms and meaning. So as I made a previous video and it says there is no law or code or statute or respect in the good sense in rioting, I realized that even in one 20-minute video or 5-minute video that you can't divulge every aspect of meaning or circumstances that people or government or people go through. So that then we look at the New Testament and what they call riot then was more it was more depending on the description that is given in Acts 17, Acts 19, 21 to about 41. And we look at the term that they use as riot, as those people coming together. And based on the description where we look at it, was more of a screaming, shouting match or whatever. When Paul was going into the theater, he was cautioned by the people with him that they listen, bro, don't go in there because them are gonna kill you. We see that with riot, and the meaning still set forth, and it is changed to some degree, that when the people them rush in, let's look at what it says. When they rushed in, let's see what it says. Let's find the verse. They said, verse 29, and the whole city was filled with confusion, and having caught Gaius and Aristarchus, men of Macedonia, Paul's companion in travel, they rushed with one accord into the theater. So them grab Paul companion them and rush them into the theater. It's like them bring them in. I don't know. It didn't state if they beat them, but there's a confusion, and Paul was cautioned by his own people not to go in. So this riot was not in the sense of what today we call riot. Today what we call riot is physical destruction of property or beating people and stuff like that. That's what they call riot. And some would say that protests, if it is peaceful, when them use protests in that sense, it's just that you are in opposition to a particular thing, but you're not destroying anything. So I understand as time and cultures and things pass through, people will change the word and the meaning. But basically what we are saying in anything that is riotous, riotous or it is a bit more confusion, and it can crescendo into burning and looting and beating and stuff like that. This video is on the two heading. I want to make this quick video on the two heading. There is a reason for riot too. And the reason for riot is the very law is so laborious and so slow and so at times meaningless, and so much bureaucratic jargons and processes that you have to go through, and it would take years. And because this precedent has been set up that the law is so laborious, the process of the law is so laborious, so lengthy, so boring, so it's overwhelming before you can get to justice, which justice really mean aid of the sick and the dying, in the sense that people who are hurting. It becomes overwhelming to those who don't have any control or eternal patience. Yes, your patience have to outweigh the laboriousness of the law, the process of the law to get redress. So your patience have to go beyond that. Your patience have to be unearthly. Your patience have to be godly, in the sense that you have to wait upon the spirit of time to get your redress, because it's man make the Pharisees, the lawyers, they make the law so laborious, so lengthy, the process, that sometimes people just say, listen, I'm just gonna do this. So it's not just one thing. And so the answer is, your patience have to just outweigh the law. Your patience have to be supernatural. Your patience have to be your patience have to be godly, in the sense that it has to wait way beyond the law, because man lawyers, they becomes so sneaky, they make the process so lengthy, that some who don't have the godly patience would just boil down to riot. We're not now talking about these people that come against Paul. We're talking about what causes riot. So those who are godly have to besiege those who are not godly. So their patience have to be an unearthly patience. Their patience can't be of men. Their patience literally have to align with the God of creation, which is time, even to death. So that is the reason also why some men riot, because they cannot, just like children, they just cannot wait on the process of time before they just divulge into riotous behavior. And that's basically, there's no mystery. But people know this. They know that the process of the law is so laborious. The process of the law is so lengthy. The process of the law is there's so much bureaucracy that will not really redress the situation immediately before it fester and become a sore. That's the process of the law. And some man just can't take that, and they just riot. So those who are godly and those who are spiritual and those who have a stronger patience and understand this have to besiege and beg those who don't have that to yield to patience. And that's what's going on here. So while there is no law in rioting, we understand why some man riot. But those who are wise, those who would understand, those with knowledge, and those who with godly patience, that means that this patience is beyond your natural life. It may happen during your natural life, but those with godly patience have to beseech those without godly patience to yield to godly patience. So that is really the answer to this thing. And if we don't yield to the godly patience, we are always gonna have riot in different scenario. So blessing and peace.